Hey everyone! The tools we've showed you in tutorial 2 will get you pretty far, but you know what, they're not everything, and in this tutorial we'll show you how to make the most of what SketchUp has to offer in terms of sketching in 2D, because more advanced and complex 2D models mean more advanced and complex 3D models, and more complex 3D models are typically the stuff you'll encounter. So at this point, you know how to use all the shapes, but just having a rectangle won't necessarily help you. What if you need a rectangle of an exact size to make sure that it'll fit everything when you make a box? Or you wanted a line of the exact length, or a circle of an exact radius? This is where dimensioning comes in. SketchUp and most other CAD packages will allow you to specify the dimensions of whatever you draw while you're still drawing it. To dimension lines, you'll want to click the start point of your line, and then immediately type in the dimensions of your line, and finally specify the unit. So let's say I've just specified the start point of my line. Then if I wanted to, let's say, have a line of 1 meter, 1 meter in length, I'll type in 1 m. Or if I wanted it to be 1 centimeter, I'll type in 1 cm, 1 millimeter, I'll type in 1 mm, and so on. And you'll notice that your dimensions will be written into this white box on the bottom right corner. Once you've entered your dimensions, hit enter to finish the line. You'll notice that, let's say if I start a new line and I try to position the end of the line after I've entered the dimensions will change as I move the mouse and move the line. So always position your line or shape before you enter your dimensions. For rectangles, the process is similar, but because you have two sides that you'll need a dimension, you'll need to type the dimension of the first side, add a comma, and then type the dimension of your other side. So let's say I wanted a 1 meter by 1.2 meter rectangle. I'd first start the rectangle by clicking the position of the first corner, and then I'd type 1m, comma, followed by 1.2m, and then finally I'll hit enter. The key thing here is you'll need to space out your two dimensions with a comma. Other than that, it's the exact same as doing it for a line. For circles, use your mouse and click where you want the center of the circle to be, and then enter the radius, which is half of the longest distance across the circle. So as you play around with SketchUp, you'll notice that dimensioning goes beyond these three tools. We can also rotate objects by exact angles, extrude things to certain heights, or scale things by a certain factor. And you know, some of these tools we haven't even gone over yet. But as you learn more of these tools and want to know if there are options to change dimensions, activate the tool and check to see if the blank white box on the lower right corner of the screen becomes active. SketchUp will usually tell you which quantity it wants you to specify right beside the box. For example, it might say length, or radius, or angle, or scale, and as you're using any tool, just type in your desired dimension and hit enter. There will never be a need to mouse click on the white box. If you ever forget the dimension of a part, you can use the tape measure tool and select the 2 points of the line you want to measure. Or alternatively, you can select the length of the side of a rectangle you want to measure, or the center of a circle to a point on its side, etc. And the dimension will be displayed on the same white rectangle in the bottom right corner that displays your other dimensions. Of course, you know, we always use lines as an example, but keep in mind that as you play around with this tool, you're going to find that the tape measure tool allows you to measure things like rectangles, circles, lengths, and even distances between two different objects. So just now when I was demonstrating the tape measure tool, you might have noticed that when I placed it near this circular chimney thing, the center of the circle appeared as a dot, so I could find where it is. This is an example of an object snap, and what these do is that they judge, based on the context of your action, what you might do next, and in turn they will modify your action to help you draw what you want to draw accurately. So the software highlighting the circle is an example, but if you have a line or a rectangular prism on this shed, and you point a tool, let's say another line, on the vertex or one of the other vertices, it'll highlight to you where exactly that corner is. So I can, for example, continue this line and draw another wall on the side. There are also snaps to the middle of lines, to different axes, and so on. And snaps are meant to be intuitive, and you'll often find that whenever you're thinking, hey, I wish that something will appear that will help me find where this corner or that center or this point on the line is, chances are what you're looking for will end up appearing. To finish off, there's a few remaining sketch tools we have to go through, and let's start with the curve or arc feature. So the curve or arc feature allows you to sketch just a section of a circle. So first you would define the start point, and then the end point, and then you move your mouse to indicate the direction and height of the bulge, so how far your arc will stand out. This bulge and its height can be specified using the dimensioning techniques we talked about earlier. So lastly, we have the freehand tool. Now this is one of the least commonly used sketching tools, but it'll draw a line wherever you move the mouse. So to use it, click the tool, click anywhere in the drawing, hold the mouse, and drag your mouse to draw your line. Release the mouse to finish it. Now you'll notice that some parts of my line formed enclosed surfaces that we can extrude if we wanted to. And that's it. We're done advanced sketching, and this should give you all the tools you'll need and have in SketchUp to make decently complex designs and to use your advanced 3D tools, which we'll go over in the next few tutorials. And that's it. We're done advanced sketching, and this should give you all the tools you'll need and have in SketchUp to make decently complex designs and to use your 3D advanced tools, which we'll go over in the next few tutorials. But for now, happy CADing, and we'll see you next time.